All right, guys, I welcome you to another episode. It's been a while of First Impressions from Night Skate. This time we are going to go over a product I'm very, very happy to have a good amount of inventory of. It is the Seba CJ2 Prime. It's CJ Wellsmore's signature skate from Seba with the removable liner. So as most of you know, the CJ2 and the CJ Carbon both have an integrated liner, which means you cannot remove them. People were gutting them, removing that liner anyway. They found that they liked that shell, and so Seba created this in response to that. And also, they just announced, FR just announced, the Wizard skating boots, which are essentially, they are different, but essentially are carbon CJs that you're able to put a liner in. So like I said, they're different. You'll see more information on those, probably not from me, but from other people, so stay tuned for those. But however, we're going to be focusing on this skate today, so let's just go ahead and jump into it. Let's go over some of the technical things. So the first thing is they are available from sizes 39 through 44 only, so they do not go bigger than 44. And the other thing a lot of people don't know is that there actually are only 3 shell sizes. So there's 39-40, 41-42, and a 43-44 shell. Now I heard that in the shells, they actually added foam to the toe area in order to compensate for the, you know, the shorter sizes. I went through as many as I could of these skates. I did not find that to be true. So I, want to start this video by saying that if you're having a hard time finding, say you're size 41, you can't find it, you can buy the size 42, especially if you plan on not using the liner, and it's going to be the exact same shell. So 39-40, 41-42, 43-44, those all share a shell. I do not personally, going through my inventory, see any difference between any of the shells. No foam in the toes or anything. So just keep that in mind. That's one thing to note. The other thing is, again, it comes with a removable liner. This is sold boot only. That means that it's actually going to come with the liner. It doesn't come with frames or wheels, but it will come with the liner. We'll go into this liner in a little bit of more detail in a little bit. My first impressions of it are, they are essentially trying to, looks like, knock off the Intuition style liner, very thin material. I don't know the specs of the material, if the foam's the same or anything like that, but I will say this definitely comes off like a budget version of like an Intuition liner. One of the issues, and this happens not just with Seba products, but with FR products, is this insole is a little wonky on some of them. So this one, for example, has a crease right here, and I find that a lot of times with these insoles from whoever Seba FR uses, that they can create some discomfort in any of their models. So if you're having any discomfort in any of their models, definitely remove that and see if that improves, or replace that with a better one. And that, again, that goes for anything Seba and FR, especially in the smaller sizes, if you're under size 40. So there's that. But let me go ahead and give you a close-up of the Seba CJ2 and just go over a little bit of details like that. This is going to come boot only. That means liner, boot, sole plate, no frames, no wheels, no bearings. If you order from me, make a note in the comments. If you order the boot only, I'll throw in a free ground control frame with the purchase. So it'll be the Featherlight 3. So take note of that. But either way, it's going to come stock like this. Liner, boot or shell, and then sole plate. Normally there is frame bolts holding the sole plate together. Part in the reflection. There's a crazy reflection right now. You can see it. But so anyway, just the time of the day. So normally these two frame bolts will hold the sole plate here onto the boot. And get a close look at the buckles here, cuffs. Go and take a look on the inside without the liner. At the bottom. Take a close look at the sole plate here. There are some optional customization kits that include sole plates, cuffs, as well as these sliders right here, and shoelaces. So if you want to customize the look of your skate, those are available. They do have them kind of limited right now, but they are available depending on what size and which one you want. Now let's jump into the liner. Now again, this liner, I don't think it's a bad substitute for an Intuition liner. You know, if you don't want to pay $200 and you want to have some of the benefits, including, you know, the increased space in your setup, I feel like this does a great job of getting that done on the cheap. These liners don't seem to be sold individually. However, I may make some available depending on whether or not I sell some of these skates as boot only. And I guess that's another thing I wanted to touch on. I'll drop a code at the end of this video. So if any of you want to order this model as a shell only, so that's without the liner, because you don't need the liner, I'll go ahead and make that option available using a code. So stay to the end for that code, and you can order them boot only from my shop. Again, my shop is actually probably one of the only places you can come and physically try them on as well. So if you're in Southern California, you really want to try these, you're unsure about the size, come on in. I have a ton of inventory as of right now. It's the beginning of the year, January 4th. So come check them out, come to the shop. All right, so my final thoughts on the CJ2 Prime. Now, I think I've done a video on the Prime already. Still feel the same. It's a great skate for wizard skating, one of the ones everybody gravitates towards, especially if the carbon version is out of your budget. Very hard plastic, very good, and very tried and true boot for doing wizard style skating. When it comes to the liner, you know, I'd say I give it like a 7 out of 10. Like I give it a 10 out of 10 as far as like, it's called the Forios liner, by the way. So I give it a 10 out of 10 as far as like budget, right? Like if you don't want to spend $200, you want to save some money and get something kind of like it, this is probably like a good idea, right? Again, my issue, and I have this, because, you know, I see this a lot in my shop, it's like with the smaller sizes, is this insole. And I don't know, you know, what the deal is, but if it has a high arc or what, or if they put the wrong sizes in, but they get all bunched up, get all messed up. They cause a lot of discomfort, actually a lot of headaches for me, because then people complain to me like it's my fault. And then, you know, so I found that for 90% of people, if you're having an issue in your foot, take this thing out of any Seba FR model, and your life will significantly improve. But beyond, I would say overall, the liner, just, you know, I give it a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 overall, you know. So, but it's not a bad liner. I heard some people rave about it. I heard some people say they prefer it over an Intuition. Just my first impressions of it are, you know, like I said, I've had a little bit more experience, especially with, you know, with their liners, and I just a little skeptical to give it, you know, high grades. But beyond that, that's it. You know, if you have a wide foot, again, another great option, because it allows you to swap out liners, you know, gives you the option to do a few things. And there's a ton of toe space. They've made a ton of extra toe space to accommodate for the fact of you putting a liner in here versus gutting like a CJ2 or something like that. So they're here in the shop. I have every single size as of right now. It's January 4th. If you want to go ahead and order them boot only, as I promised, go ahead and put code CJ Prime Shell, CJ Prime Shell, and that'll give you, what, let's say $50 off of the price of the skates, in case you just didn't need the liner. So that's just for people who watch this video. I won't even put that in the comments, you know, just to have it here. So thank you guys for watching all the way through. Thank you guys for the continued support. Watch for a lot of improvements here in the shop. If you want to come check out the shop and see the improvements firsthand, feel free. Again, thank you all for your continued support. Very, very lucky to be able to make it to 3 years. So I'll talk to you all again soon. Bye-bye.